We are at Jalan Besar Stadium. It's the Singapore Cup 2023, the grand final. Lion City Sailors looking for, perhaps surprisingly, their first ever Singapore Cup against the defending champions, Hougang United. Well, thank you very much for joining us here on our coverage. The last game of the 2023 season, and it's the big one. It's the Singapore Cup final as Lion City Sailors look to beat Hougang United to grab only their first ever Singapore Cup. Roshan Rai here with me. Roshan, it's a really nice story, isn't it? Defending champions.
Yeah.
Hougang have just won their first bit of major silverware a year ago.
Yep.
They're back here again. Lion City Sailors have yet to win it. It's a lovely story.
It is a lovely story. Hougang are defending champions, but they're the underdogs.
Yeah.
Right? They're a side who are looking to make amends for a poor domestic season, similar to last year when they went all the way to win the cup. And the Lion City Sailors are also looking to make amends because everyone expects them to be the favourites to go on and win everything. I think by their own definition, it's been a poor league campaign for them. And last season, they didn't do well at all. A group stage exit in the Singapore Cup. For the Lion City Sailors, this time around, they've made it all the way into the final. So great to see for them, and they will be fired up for it. I mean, you have a look at the semi-finals there, and I mean, that 3-3 in the first leg was fantastic. Great game to watch. Tampines just didn't show up in the second leg. And for Hougang, they have sort of peaked at the right time, I guess you could say.
I mean, absolutely right, haven't they? Because, as you said, not a great league season. You look at this, though, just the one loss, and that was at the start of the campaign. But they've just got better and better as it's progressed.
They did. I mean, they responded very well. You had that defeat against Tanjung Pagar United by 2-1. And then they are now unbeaten in the last 4 matches with 3 wins in that time. You've also got 2 clean sheets there against Brunei DPMM, which shows how stable they've been defensively over the last few weeks or so under Marko Kraljevic. And it's helped that Maksimovic is in a really good run of goal-scoring form as well. They were fantastic, I think, in this semi-final against DPMM over both legs. It could have been a lot more comfortable than the 3-0.
They could have run away with it in the first leg, right? They could have put this whole thing to bed.
It could have been at least 3-0 in the first leg. Could have been a few more in the second as well. And they cruised into the final. I mean, I think the tactical approach from Marko Kraljevic was spot on over those 2 legs. And it's nice to see them in this final. And I think that variation in tactics between Hougang and the Lion City Sailors is going to make for a really fascinating watch this evening.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people are wondering how he's going to approach today's match, playing against a very different side, Lion City Sailors from DPMM.
Yeah, I think he'll probably sit back a little bit more. He was asked ahead of the second leg whether he'd be looking to try and park the bus, Marko Kraljevic, and he said, there's no bus. They don't own any buses. But I think there's going to be an aspect of that. Not necessarily bus parking per se, but there's going to be moments where they will know that they have to sit back and protect the spaces in their own half. And then invite the Lion City Sailors onto them, and then make use of the spaces on the counter-attack, because they have a player in there, George Maksimovic, who will work and he will run his socks off up front for them, running into the channels, and he's always a very good outlet for them. And they're quite happy to go a little bit more direct. The pressure for me is on the Lion City Sailors.
Oh yeah.
They have to go out and approach this. They have to go and attack the game against Hougang, because the Lion City Sailors are, in Singapore football at this moment should be the favourites to go on and win everything.
Everything, right?
And the fact that they haven't, I think, adds on a little bit more pressure to their shoulders.
Just taking on there George Maximovic, because he came in halfway through the season. He's been a revelation, hasn't he? Because prior to that, his predecessor, Brian Ferreira, was misfiring. So what a time for him to be getting all these goals.
Yeah, Brian Ferreira was such a poor signing for Hougang, and he just never did anything up front for them, didn't contribute in terms of goals, and you can see where they were really lacking. Even in their struggles in the earlier stages of the campaign, they would create chances, but just didn't have someone who would finish them off. Since Marco's come in, he's brought in Maximovic. He's also changed their style a little bit, and you often hear him having a go at George Maximovic. He's 23 years of age. He's come into Singapore football having already played at a good level in the Serbian Super League, relatively to what we have here. So, it took a bit of time to get going, but you could already see encouraging signs, because he was getting into some really great positions, just not finishing them off. But once the goal started to flow, it's been looking really good for him, and he's been scoring for fun in the Singapore Cup campaign.
He said this is the first time he's playing outside of Serbia, and he had to get used to the time difference, but boy, he's fine now, not looking at all like he's suffering. The fact that we are talking about Hougang here in this final, given that they've also, not apart from the poor season they've also had injury issues. We're talking about Christian Krajcek, who's one of the best foreign players in the league. They've had Gabriel Quack in and out of the team. He just had to limp out of the semi-final. Right. Hazwan Halim also had a problem. But Marko Kraljevic has kind of galvanized him, hasn't he?
There were times when they really struggled without Christian Krajcek, and it looked really difficult for them. Whenever he wasn't playing, you always thought you fear for Hougang. But they found a way to work without him in this Singapore Cup campaign, and that's been about securing themselves defensively and then playing in those counter-attacking moments and in those situations. It certainly has helped that Nazrul Nazari has stepped up in terms of the output, with the assists that he's been able to pick up. I think he's leading the charts in terms of assists in the Singapore Cup. So, they found a way, and that's always good news. It's a team game. You should never be overly reliant on one player, because otherwise, if he's injured, then you're in all sorts of trouble. But they found a way around it. Others have stepped up. Others have taken on that responsibility. And that's great to see. I think if you're a Hougang United fan, you'll be absolutely delighted with the way it's turned around in the Singapore Cup campaign. They've
got some big opposition, though, to play against in Lion City Sailors. This is their path. I mean, Roshan, like you said, they've had an under-par league season. Let's say finished second, but for them, that's not good enough. And so we've even heard Maxime Lestienne saying, I need to end the drought. I need to win that trophy.
Absolutely. They will, at the end of the day, be judged on the number of trophies they win. They have by far the most resources. They have the best players. You don't really have many excuses for the Lion City Sailors if you're an LCS player. What's great is that they put the pressure on themselves as well. You hear the likes of Lestienne, as you mentioned. You've heard Haris Harun talk about it. You've heard other members of the squad say, we need to be winning things. And this is absolutely where they need to show up tonight. Yes, it was great to get through over 2 legs against Tampines Rovers, especially this brilliant showing in the second leg. But this is where it matters now. In this final, anything can happen in a final. That's how those cliches go in the world of football. Whenever it comes to a final, it's over 90 minutes or extra time, penalty shootout, anything can happen. But they have to put all that away. They have to silence everyone by going on to win this. It is put up or shut up time, essentially, for the Lion City Sailors here.
18 goals in 5 games. They've got such great firepower. I mean, people are thinking they've got to go out there and score goals. I mean, they're expecting this. Not just a win, but a win in style.
They have to. I think that style aspect is always going to be in there for the Lion City Sailors. We're always expecting them to play and to play with style. But I'd probably say tonight that you have to just get it across the line.
Doesn't matter, right?
Any way you can, get it across the line. They've already got 1 league title. They finished second best to Albrecht Negata with a couple of domestic league seasons, which is really not good enough in that sense when you think about it, especially this season, the way they sort of just fell away. Yes, you said they finished second, but overall they didn't really show good quality and consistency all the way right through to the end of the campaign. But in the Cup, they've been doing well. A couple of encouraging results in the AFC Champions League as well. That win against John Book was huge. you can sort of see where it's going under Rankovic.
Right.
You can see a lot of that fluidity in attack. You can see the players in attack are enjoying themselves, the likes of Lopez. Zivkovic has been a very good signing. He's looking good. Remember, he looked a little bit uninterested at times when he first came in, but I think it could have been a confidence issue, could have been an issue with him sort of settling in there, and he's starting to score goals. Shaul Anwar has been absolutely fantastic. I really love watching Shaul Anwar play. You know, he's such a threat up front.
Yeah.
His movement is great. He's got speed, but he's got really good awareness. He's very intelligent, really intelligent attacking player is Shaul Anwar. So when you've got all these options, Lestien we see setting up a chance there for Shaul Anwar to put away. It makes the job of a coach a lot easier, but also, again, it comes down to what they can do on the night here. We've seen them have issues in spite of all the talent that they have, and they'll be hoping that's not the case, that they're not frustrated against Hougang United tonight.
You know, you've just talked about so many different players there. We've seen some great footage of how well Lion City Sailors can play. You've still got to kind of manage that, right? You've got so many players there, such great talent. What about Alexander Rankovic? I mean, he came through after, of course, some issues prior to with his predecessor.
Yeah.
How do you think he's performed?
He's done well so far. I mean, he's gotten them to a cup final. He's gotten a couple of good results in the AFC Champions League, some decent performances. And, you know, I think it's still sort of early days in that sense. There's always pressure and expectation if you're a head coach coming in to manage the Lion City Sailors. It's almost as if, again, you don't really have too many excuses. You've got the best talent out there.
Right.
You've got the best foreign players. So you almost have to sort of hit the ground running. And I think after a little bit of a couple of shaky situations in the league, he sort of steadied the ship in that sense.
Yeah.
He started to get them to win matches, and he started to play on the domestic front with a lot of style, and he's shown that variation in the AFC Champions League. So far, so good. If they go on and win the cup, this will give him a lot more time to, again, start to build a few more things with the Lion City Sailors.
We're going to take a short break. We'll have team lineups and pre-match interviews up next. We're about 15 minutes or so from kickoff here, the Singapore Cup 2023 final between Lion City Sailors and Hougang United. We're just getting through some of the build-up to it. We got the fans there in the house. This is the head-to-head. It's not pretty reading if you're a Hougang United fan, Roshan. You take away that draw in the Singapore Cup. I know that's the most recent game, but boy, look at those big wins before.
No, it's been really one-sided, hasn't it? I mean, those 8 goals, and you got 3, and then you got another 5, 2 clean sheets in there for the Lion City Sailors. I guess Hougang will take some encouragement from that 1-0. Hougang don't have a very good record against the Lion City Sailors. They only won once in the last 13 or something against this opposition.
That's right. We'll come back to that, I'm sure. But let's have a look at the lineup here. No changes for the Sailors after that semi-final aggregate win against Tampines Rovers, and no surprises.
Yeah, no surprises. I mean, if it's going well, sides playing well, there seems to be a good understanding, good structure in place, then there's no real need for that. And really encouraging to see Nathan Mao getting a start in the cup final. What a massive, massive opportunity and moment it is for that young player.
Yeah, he played well. He wasn't even yanked off at half-time in the semi-finals. He stuck on for a fair bit more into the second half. Yeah. Let's have a look at Hougang United. And perhaps, Roshan, we know that you had kind of alluded to it.
Yeah.
There might be a little tweak today for Marko Kraljevic.
Yeah, and maybe a bit of a change in formation as well. It's an interesting one because Abdil's been named in the starting 11. He's coming to replace Hazwan. Amy Reka actually came on for Hazwan in the last game. Hazwan limped out with a hamstring injury. He's been named on the bench. Abdil has come in, and you're wondering whether it's going to be a back 5. But we also saw Takayama play in central midfield in that second leg of the semi-final against DPMM. Struggle a little bit in possession. I don't think he was so used to playing central midfield in there. Right. But he's got options here, Marco. Whether he wants to go on and push Takayama into central midfield, or whether he's going to go with a back 5. It's going to be kind of interesting to see how he gets on.
Let's hear now from the head coaches, their thoughts ahead of kickoff.
Uncle, today's the day. How has preparation been for the team?
Preparation was the same as always. I mean, we were more focused on how to recover for this game, and the rest tactical things. We just repeated from the last couple of weeks. So.
And you have good head-to-head stats, but what's the biggest issue that you foresee with this Hougang side?
I think we have to be patient with them and try to break the defense down, because I think they're going to play very compact and try to catch us on the break with the counter-attack. So that's something that we have to be aware of.
And you've got players like Risharo, Shaw and Diego in good scoring form, 5 apiece this campaign. Will they be your target men for today?
Yeah, just like you said, that's our attackers. So every one of them is able to score in any given time. So I think if they put the performance they did in the last couple of games, I think it's going to be a good day for us.
And in a final where it may come down to who wants it more, who's hungrier?
Yeah, I think both teams are very hungry to get it. Of course, they're defending champions, but we as a club never been at this stage, the last stage, let's say the finals. So I hope we are more hungry.
Hello Marco, you might be making club history today by taking back-to-back Singapore Cup titles. How exciting is that prospect, and how do you keep your players grounded and focused on the game?
Meaning is we was very happy to be there, and we got chance to win back-to-back. Is excellent opportunity. Is final, one game, anything can happen.
And that being said, the results against LCS hasn't been the most ideal this year, 4 losses and a draw. What are your expectations tonight, and what's the game plan here to get a positive result?
Again, you're playing one of the best team. You know, everybody saw how they play in the Champions League. It's a very good team, and then he's playing. Well, I mentioned to you already, playing against best team in the country, but. What I say is final is always only one game. Anything can happen. I think we can give good fight, and if we also coming to final, we want to win. You know, we will not just coming to final. It's not good enough. We go there. We want to win.
And a final where it may come down to who wants it more. Who's hungrier?
I think if you say about hungry, I think we are hungry. You know, we are really hungry. You know, we want to do it something always something extra. Something is what. Everybody talking about the LCS is favorite, you know, but this is what it give us a lot of energy, a lot of hunger to go there and win the game.
Okay, fans are ready. Stage is all set. We will have kickoff the Singapore Cup final in just a few minutes. Lion City Sailors against Hougang United. There's the lights, the sounds. It is Jalan Besar Stadium, the venue for the Singapore Cup Final 2023. Lion City Sailors taking on Hougang United. Kick-off in just a few minutes. That is what they're all aiming for. The trophy that Hougang United stunningly won last year. Upset Tampines Rovers in the final for their first ever major piece of silverware. And amazingly enough, Lion City Sailors have not won this before. So they also looking to make a bit of history themselves as we see the teams come out here. We've had earlier on today the third, fourth place match. Tampines Rovers won that 2-0, but this is the main event. With me here in the commentary position, here at Jalan Besar Stadium, Roshan Rai. Roshan, what have we got in store tonight?
Really looking forward to this one. I think it's going to be a very interesting game of football. We've got two different approaches, I think, tactically, which is what we are going to see in this fixture. There's a side here in the Lion City Sailors who are the heavy favourites. They've got the obvious quality and that gulf between themselves and Hougang. But then you've got a Hougang side who will be keen to fight for back-to-back Singapore Cup titles, to make a bit of history with that. And they have some of that quality themselves. They've got experienced internationals in this side. They've got a threat up front in Georgia Maksimovic. So they have that quality to cause problems for the Lion City Sailors. And I'm hoping this is a real good contest between the two.
We've got our VIPs here. FAS President Bernard Tan is there. He's got the two chairmen of the clubs for Lion City Sailors. That's Forrest Lee. The Hougang chairman is Bill Ng. There is Forrest. And Bill Ng behind him. And then we've got Gerard Christopher, who's the Deputy Secretary General.
Well, I just had a look there at the Lion City Sailors owner Forrest Lee. Giving quite a few pats on the back to Maxime Lestienne, saying you better do the business tonight.
You're the man.
You're the man, you know. You're the man. SPL Player of the Year. Lots of goals, lots of assists. Hasn't scored in 7 matches though, Maxime Lestienne, in all competitions. But he is fired up and he'll be looking to try and make a big difference in this final.
Yeah, he made it very clear he wants to end the trophy drought. Andre Verolino is in charge of this one, assisted by Ronico and Andy Tan. Ahmad Akasha is our 4th official. And let's see if VAR gets involved today. Mohamed Taki will be assisted by Mohamed Shafiq Jufri. And as we look at the lineup here, well, Lion City Sailors had a very, very good win over Tampines Rovers in the second leg semi-final. 3-0 on the line. Could have been much, much more, but they've decided no changes to be made.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's probably the right idea for Rankovic. If the players are fit, obviously they are. They've had no fitness issues with this. And they've been playing well. There's an understanding there amongst the team. There's a good structure in place. Then why do you really need to go and try and mess about with it? I think Nathan Mao, that one is a really interesting option from the start. And it's a big opportunity, a really big moment for that young player. But have a look at the options they have going forward. Lestienne in there, Lopez, Živkovic. You know, I mean, it's just incredible the sort of attacking talent that Alexander Rankovic is able to call upon.
So much so that he's got Shawal Anwar, for example, on his bench, who's had a fantastic season. Hougang United have made one tweak, and that is Abdul Qayyim there, the number 36, the central defender, is in. Hazwan Halim looked to have had a problem in the previous game against DPMM in the second leg semi-final. But I'm assuming, Roshan, that he probably would have made, I mean, not necessarily Hazwan, but he might well have made a tweak at the back anyway.
Well, the thing with for Marco is he's been here before in 2014 and ended up winning it when he was the underdog as well with Balestier Khalsa against Home United. And throughout the competition, they were the underdogs. And he went on to win the cup. So he will know what it's all about. There's some players in this Hougang side who will know what it's all about as well. But yeah, it looks like they might just change it up to a system of 5 at the back with Abdil coming in. Hazwan picked up that hamstring injury and he was actually replaced by Amy Reka in that second leg against DPMM. But Amy Reka is on the bench. Hazwan is also on the bench. It didn't look good when he came off, and I'm wondering whether he's going to actually feature at any stage in this match, or whether he's just there to sort of put a little bit of doubt, play a bit of mind games, you know, with the Lion City Sailors in terms of his availability.
And interesting as well, because Gabriel Kwak also limped off in the first leg.
That's right.
Of the semi-final.
And he didn't feature in the second leg.
So how good is he as well to be playing? But look, the good thing is, we know Hougang, they may not quite have the resources of Lion City Sailors, but as you've made clear throughout the season, they're a club, probably outside of your Lion City Sailors, have got probably next tier in terms of resources, right?
Yeah, you know, I think they've been a little bit unfortunate at times this season. There was a poor signing in Brian Ferreira at the start of the campaign. I thought if they had someone like Maximovic, you know, from the start, someone who could put away those opportunities, they'd be in a much better place. Maximovic has been a very good signing for them. You know, they created chances even when they went through a difficult spell. They just weren't able to win matches. Marco has come in, and to me, I think tactically he's switched a few things up. It's a lot more straightforward. It's a lot more simpler in a sense. You know, he's a bit more focused on making sure they secure things at the back, try and give themselves that stability before hitting on the counter. And they have a player up front who works incredibly hard, Maximovic. I really have enjoyed watching him play. You know, he runs the channels, he's always a threat. The Lion City Sailors are going to really have to be aware in those counter-attacking situations. He's got good timing of his run. He knows the positions where he needs to be in. And Hougang now, when they win it, the first instinct is to counter, is to hit a long direct pass into spaces for Maximovic to chase, because they know he has the pace, they know he has the energy, and he's now playing with a lot of confidence because he's scoring goals. And so that's always going to give them a chance here. They will need to try and focus on making sure that they can hold the Lion City Sailors off, not allow the Sailors to score.
Kick-off then.
This match.
Kick-off then, the Singapore Cup final 2023, Lion City Sailors versus Hougang United, two of the best supported teams in Singapore. We just saw a glimpse of their fans. They'll be well up for this. There's Irwan Shah, who has been moved in to midfield this season, and Nazrul Nazari's been moved into a more attack role. Just Marko Kraljevic is kind of tweaking things around,
That's
hasn't
right, and I think he's had to. We mentioned those injury issues that they've had. Krajcek is a big one. He's a big player for Hougang. He's been out, but they've been able to find a way to play without him and still find success in the Singapore Cup. And it's helped that the other players have stepped up. Nazrul's making a big contribution in an attacking sense.
Yes, Sahil, has he gone for goal there? He was some distance out, wasn't he? He's taking a pot shot perhaps, but a little warning.
Yeah, I think just trying to catch out or test is one very early on. There was actually a little bit of a dip right at the end there, came a bit too late. Well, this is where he's so good, Sahil, in his close control in possession. I thought he had a brilliant semi-final against DPMM over 2 legs. He was really running the game for Hougang in an attacking sense. You know, just drifting in behind the opposition midfield, looking to link the attack for them in those spaces, and his touch was very good.
There's all kind of look where Lestienne is. Player.
Does look like it's going to be a back 3 there that drops into a 5. Takayama, Kuriyama and Abdil will be the 3 central defenders.
Here's Maximovic. Can he keep this in? Asking for a corner. It will be a goal kick. Just clutching his arm there. Lionel Tan was right on him.
Yeah, I mean, that is going to be interesting. Maximovic against Bailey Wright and against Lionel Tan. Going to have to keep a close eye on his movement.
Quick ball from Lestienne.
Sahil Suhaimi just playing off the left-hand side. I'm sure he'll be given that license to roam into central areas, and that's when Jordan Vestering will have to provide the width down the left and that energy from that left wing-back position. Don't expect Anders Zaplin to necessarily get forward too much. I don't think he'll have to be too concerned about that. He does have Nazrul Nazari in front of him.
Yeah, there was Zaplin now, a little bit advanced.
Situationally, you'll have to see. He really will have to time his runs forward, Anders Zaplin. Because I suspect Živković will be quite happy to operate in those channels, in those spaces.
He does like that, doesn't he?
Yeah, if he does get himself too far forward, picks up the wrong timing, is exposed here, and Abdil's going to have that important role on that side as well.
Here's Vestering. Looking to get that ball out quickly. He's been persistent there, Vestering. So foul on Maksimovic. Referee's not having any of it. Talked about how he has really enjoyed coming over here to Hougang. First time he's played outside of Serbia.
Now you see that ball around the corner there. Just looking to try and bend it from a deeper position into the run of Živković. Christopher Van Huysen does have the capacity to do that.
Here's Abdil. Brought to the side today.
Marko Kraljevic just looking to try and find that balance in terms of trying to protect the spaces in his own half and also making sure they cause enough of a threat to the Lion City Sailors. I think he understands that they can't always be sitting back and they can't always allow the Lion City Sailors to push up and press on them. They're going to have to cause a few issues of their own and try and test this Sailors defense. Now, you've seen over the course of the year that they can cause some issues.
Oh, there was plenty of venom in that shot. They're asking for a handball. Sahil Suhaimi took that snapshot from him. The early one from Nazrul Nazari.
It's come off the arm of Anu. The second one here from Sahil. Well spotted by the referee. I saw it in real time as well. I don't think you're going to catch it here. The referee saw it. It's a free kick in a pretty good position.
So two takers not available any longer in Krajcek, injured. Zulfami Arifin transferred out. Those would have been probably the two that would have stepped up for this. Instead, it looks like it could well be Sahil Suhaimi.
He's technically very good, Sahil Suhaimi. And that's been his game for a long time now. Not necessarily the most reliable in terms of fitness or his intensity, but good technical quality.
Takayama's also an interested party. Sahil comes off the wall. Here's Abdul Qaim. That's actually quite a positive start here, isn't it, from Hougang so far?
Yeah, really good. They look like they're playing with some real confidence. They're not just sitting back. There's no bus parking, so to speak, just yet.
You were saying earlier that Marco said we don't have a bus.
Yeah, he said they don't have a bus. That's not in their game plan, which I thought was a brilliant answer.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are crediting him for sort of after a poor start to the season, sort of the resurgence and keeping the team together.
Yes, I think turning things around pretty nicely. Yes, there were times when consistency was a little bit hard to come by. There were some difficult results, even under him, Marko Kraljevic. But overall, I think it's been pretty positive, and it's been a good cup campaign as well. Coming into this in a decent run of form. Aside from that defeat to Tanjung Pagar, unbeaten in the last 4, 3 wins in that run as well. That was 2 clean sheets against DPMM.
A DPMM team that had also seemed to have peaked at the right time after a disappointing season.
You know, peaked in the group stage and then faded badly in the semi-final of DPMM.
Big time.
Without Voronkov and Azwan Ali.
They're the 2 men.
Nice symmetry there.
Well, don't forget, both these sides have had to balance continental and domestic responsibilities. And Hougang, I think, by their own admission, I'm sure, Roshan, have been disappointing. They're bottom of the group. They've still got one more match in a few days after this as well against Haiphong in Vietnam.
You know, it's a far cry from the days when Singapore sides used to be pretty competitive in the AFC Cup.
Yeah.
And it's a very different stage at the moment.
Here's Lestienne, he's beat the offside trap. Gets the cross in, it's going to go out for a throw-in. First time he's got behind the defence. Here's Zukainen. Now Lestienne with his left foot. Playing on this right-hand side. They've kind of preferred that in recent times. You prefer kind of inverted, or do you like him on the left?
Oh, I like him everywhere. he's just that sort of player, right?
Yeah.
Like Lestienne, wherever he is, essentially, I think he can cause all sorts of problems for you.
He'd already kind of secured MVP.
Yeah.
Kind of halfway through the season. That's how good he was.
Yeah. I mean, his goal and assist record, just incredible.
For someone who's not a striker as well, even more incredible, right? So kind of not the best of clearances, and not sure what his thought process was there. Sahil.
I think he was just trying to help it into the path of Nazrul, who made a run from the outside in, and also perhaps he was caught in 2 minds. Maybe he thought he wanted to try and chip the goalkeeper from there.
Well, he's certainly not short on confidence. Roshan, we've got 10 minutes on the clock pretty much, and it's been Hougang who've had most of the ball in their attacking sense so far.
Yeah.
That might have been something that surprised a few people.
I don't think too many of us expected this to be the way the opening stages of this match would have gone. But it's good. I mean, it's a sign of Hougang's confidence, I think. Now let's see if they can sort of just maintain this level throughout the course of this match. And I came into this and said the pressure is all on the Lion City Sailors.
It's given away. Here's Diego Lopez, now Harris. Zukainen. Just drop it to his little pockets of space, Diego Lopez. Now Lionel Tan. Here's Frisco and Huijsen.
Well, there's that 5-4-1 from Hougang now. Chance for the Lion City Sailors to have a little bit of possession.
Which they probably lose right after you said that. But just going back to that point on the balancing of continental domestic, it's their 3rd match in 8 days, 5th in 14 for Hougang United, which I think in a lot of other leagues that's kind of fairly standard. But in the Singapore context, when you have so few teams, you don't play midweek so much, do you?
No, you tend not to.
Yeah. So then it's quite an adjustment, isn't it?
It is, but it's also no surprise, right? I mean, these sides would have known that they're going to be participating in continental competition, and you'd like to think they would have prepared for that as well. And, I mean, as a player...
You want to play as much as possible, right?
I don't see how you can complain about playing continental club football.
Oh, sure they won't, yeah. That's for Lion City Sailors, a fantastic result against John Book. How would you characterize their AFC Champions League campaign overall?
I think a couple of encouraging AFC Champions League campaigns for the Land City Sailors. I thought last season was good when they created history by beating Daegu.
Yep.
This time around, even better to beat Jeonbuk.
Yeah.
Yes, Jeonbuk is struggling in the K-League, but it's still two-time AFC Champions League winners Jeonbuk. That they were able to get a good result against them here at Jalan Besar. It's about continuing to sort of experience football at that level. They won't be in the AFC Champions League next season. They'll be in ACL 2, AFC Champions League 2, which will still have a good level of teams. You'll still have Korean and Japanese teams in that competition. So a chance to sort of test themselves even more. Oof, right, challenge from Vestering.
Now, that is not looking good. It's going to be a yellow card for Vestering, and he's taken out Diego Lopez here, and he went in. Oh dear. Oh, did he pull out?
I think he might have just goes through with the left. I wonder if he's just lost his footing there. Maybe he slipped. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. It's just a bit on the follow through. It doesn't look very good at all. It wouldn't surprise me if this is.
It is indeed
going to be looked at.
Well, this would be a hammer blow for Vestering and Hougang to potentially lose someone so early on. Lopez as well. That's another one to think about from Land City Sailors' point of view.
Well, it's at least a yellow card from Vestering.
It appears that that is all the punishment he's going to get. But notice has been served.
Yeah. That's good. I think that's very experienced officiating from the VAR. And no surprise, because it's Mamataki.
So free kick here for the Sailors. Oh, he didn't get the connection he would have wanted, Lionel Tan. And we know he's got...
Well, you're absolutely right. It's just the connection. Just mistimes it a little bit. Connects with it a little bit too late on its way down, and he wasn't able to generate that power.
Does have an eye for goal, doesn't he, Lionel Tan? Here's Robson. Lopez is down again. Now he's saying, ref, look at all these challenges. What's going on? I'm in charge. That's good. Abdul Qayyum walks away quickly.
I think he's telling the referee here that Abdul knew exactly what he's doing. It's a bit cynical. He knows he's turned there, and Lopez, what he's trying to say to the referee is that the pitch had opened up. There was a chance for a transition, a quick counter. Again, I like how at this stage the on-field referee there is just trying to calm it down, having a word. You know, sometimes that feeling for the occasion is so important. You know, it's not just that everything is by the book, everything is by the letter of the law.
He's taking the context into it.
He's taking the context of the match into it. It's so important. There's this thing in refereeing as well, is whether something is within the spirit of the game. Is it what the game expects?
Right. There's Anu. Now Lopez to Lestienne. Takes a shot, Zeifel saves. He did just enough there, Irwan Shah, perhaps, to take it off Diego Lopez. A bit more intensity here from the Sailors.
I feel like they're just perhaps starting to get into a rhythm now. After a bright start, Hougang are being pinned back.
Zulkarnain. Now Lestienne. Which doesn't quite get the connection either.
There's another look at that early opportunity for Lestienne. I mean, you normally think he's going to go onto his left. He does very well. He just bring it back onto his right. And at the near post, expect Zeifel to be able to save that. Good height as well for the goalkeeper.
Now Anders Applin. Here's Abdil.
They're not looking to really press at the moment, the Lion City Sailors. So, and Hougang are quite happy right now as well to just be patient with it.
Festering. Yeah, you know, the semi-final against Tampines Rovers, Sailors were all over them right from the very start, and the Rovers just didn't have any breathing space.
Second leg you're referring to. I was very surprised at how poor Tampines were in the second leg.
Here's Nazrul. I mean, they were very passive. That has to be put out of play by Bailey Wright. Maksimovic was lurking.
Well, it all started off with some really good work from Maksimovic. That is defending from the front by Georgia Maksimovic, taking it away from Haris Harun. And they worked the ball out to Anders Applin. Not a bad delivery, you know. Bailey Wright had to get a touch on that. Tricky one for him to deal with as well. Just directs it away for a corner.
Away by Zivkovic. Lestienne trying to counter. Can't do it. Robson has done well here. Now we have a player down.
Looks like Maksimovic is down in the area.
He's clutching his shin. There is a look at this at the moment.
Well, there's a lot of holding going on. There's Maksimovic. Well, it's Anu who's with him. Don't really see too much in that, honestly. There was a lot of holding going on elsewhere.
Yeah.
Well, it was Maksimovic who went down.
Here's Anu. Now Lionel Tan. Van Huysen. Here is Anu again.
You just have a look at Nazrul's positioning as well. You know, it's not really an out-and-out right winger, even in the defensive phase of things. It's not just on the right-hand side of that midfield four.
Well, that somehow got to Sulkainen. Now Lestienne. Well, that's good work there from Takayama. Put the ball out to no one.
If you get the chance to, at times you just notice Nazrul just dropping into those narrow spaces, trying to kill off those passes in that sort of a half space area. Apologies for using that term.
Here's what? Sorry, Irwan. It's pretty even at the moment, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I mean, this defensive setup from Hougang is quite interesting at the moment.
Oh, lovely. Nicely done by Sulkainen. Got some space here. Both sides not really too bothered about pressing at the moment, are they?
Yeah, and I think there's also, we spoke about referees appreciating the situation. I think players do as well.
Was that handball? Oh, the penalty has been given.
Ooh, I'm not sure this is a penalty. It didn't look like his arm was outstretched away from his body. Yes, I think it hit his arm, but I don't think it was in an unnatural position. I don't think it was extended away from his body.
He can't believe it. Kraljevic, let's have another look at this. It's slightly raised, Roshan, isn't it? Slightly.
Yeah, but it's close to his body, isn't it? I mean, there is a bit of an element that his arm is there. I guess that could be.
He was kind of in mid-flight as he was in the.
They'll be looking at this really closely.
Yeah.
I think at the movement of his arm. It probably is one of those situations as well where maybe you'd be happy to just stick with the on-field decision and go with it. I mean, it looked like it was close to his body, but whether there was that little movement
yeah,
of the arm, and that's what they'll be sort of looking at.
First big talking point of the match, just past the midway point of the first half. Lion City Sailors have been nominally awarded a penalty. Was there a handball for Takayama? Are they saying go have a review?
I don't really know what Lionel Tan is doing with the penalty spot there. It's an artificial surface. There's no real... Well, forget that. Let's have another look at this. Touched on. I mean, there's also that he's so close as well. He's so close to Živković. I think it's just
looking
natural...
he's kind of looking away. It's kind of an instinctive thing, isn't it?
I feel like it's a natural, as you mentioned, it's a natural instinctive thing in the game.
Right.
When the ball's coming at you, it's your reaction, right?
Yeah.
To try and perhaps protect yourself or to protect your face in those situations. I mean, I feel like he's just so close. He's so close to the ball.
I'm going to sound like an uncle, but in the old days that wouldn't have been given, would it?
On-field review.
There we go. Well, that might well be a good sign for Hougang United. There might be some doubt here. Have another look here. I mean, he's kind of travelling, isn't he? And he's kind of looking away as well.
I just feel like it would be incredibly harsh to give this. That's just my take as an ex-player. I mean, obviously, if you're the Lion City Sailors, you want it to be given.
Of course.
But if it happened to them, they'd be saying, no way.
Yeah.
I think he's just really too close to Živković.
Is your point also what more could he have done? I mean, he's kind of looked away, and he's almost, like we've discussed, almost instinctively trying to stop it from hitting his face.
Oh.
Okay, what's he decided? Oh, he's gone with his decision. He's backed himself here, Andrea Verolino.
Well, okay, I mean...
It's done now.
Listen, it's his call, right? The VAR thought that it might be worth having a look at it. He's sticking to his decision.
Well, he's made the call. So now, Živković versus Zeifel. Took about, what, 3 minutes or so. Let's see. Now, he's had to wait a long time here, Živković. Oh, he's guessed the right way, Zeifel, but Živković puts it away. And Lion City Sailors take the lead, albeit in perhaps some contentious circumstances.
Big moment for the Lion City Sailors, getting the breakthrough. Really important goal for them. For Hougang here, how do they react? How do they change things up tactically over the course of this match now? Because this is perfect for the Lion City Sailors. They'll be quite happy to now be the side who will wait, be patient for the opportunities on the break. Well taken penalty by Živković. Just gets it into the corners enough away from Zeifel. He did his best, read the penalty well, he knew where he was going. But again, always will favour the attacker from the penalty spot. And Nathan Mao is in some trouble here, touching his chest. There's
some frustration on the pitch at the moment.
I do love those moments when players from opposition sides are chatting to each other about, one is making the case that it should have been a sending off, it should have been a red, it's a terrible challenge, and the other one saying, come on, it's just happens, it's momentum, it's part of the game.
All legislating. Nathan Mao looks in some distress here.
I always found it to be one of the more enjoyable, one of the enjoyable aspects of playing professional football, having a discussion, having a debate with an opposition player.
Everyone defending their corner.
And throwing a few choice words in there as well. All jokes aside, you hope that Nathan Mao is not too seriously hurt.
Zivkovic looking on in concern. He has been a real revelation. 14 goals and 3 assists in 17 games. You include today, that's 15 goals and 3 assists. Here we go.
That's Nathan Mao. Oh!
Anders Aplin.
I think he knows what he's doing there, Anders Aplin. He's stepping across, putting the shoulder in. Nathan Mao with all the momentum. Essentially, he's running into that where Anders Aplin is almost a wall in a sense.
Bit of whiplash.
He's clutching. He was holding his chest, some ice on the back of his neck, as you mentioned, the force of that impact. It's another one as well. Again, if you've played this game with an understanding of it, you will know exactly what Anders Aplin was doing there. You will know what he was doing. I'll just leave it at that.
Within the rules?
I don't know. In the grey, I guess.
Well, the good news is that Nathan Mao is okay.
There's 15-year-old Nathan Mao coming up against 32-year-old Anders Aplin.
It's a massive age difference, but this young man is it's a real statement of faith in him that he's starting today.
I think what sometimes gets said is, you know, there's that saying, right? If you're good enough, you're old enough. And if you're old enough, if you're good enough, you're old enough, and you're old enough to play with men, then
you've got to take these.
You've got to take these.
Yeah, yeah. Here's Diego Lopez. Lestienne. But the intentions there are festering.
And I have to say, to his credit, have a look. He's back up. He's running around Nathan Mao.
Well, will be a corner. Well, we've had a few stoppages here already. Looks like we'll have a fair bit of added time. Lestienne. Now Nathan Mao. Seems to be fine. Diego Lopez. Loses the ball and Lopez asking the question.
I think he wanted to play back straight away. Yeah, Zivkovic just organizing things there.
Ooh, a bit of a foul perhaps from Lopez on Sahil. That play continues. Irwan. Lofted ball towards Maximovic. Easy for Iswan. Last year, Lion City Sailors failed to get out of the group stages, which was quite the shock. Maxime Lestienne desperate to mend that one, and Zivkovic got that little touch on, but he's offside.
A nervy moment for Hougang. We're looking across the assistant referee on this near side, hoping for that flag to come up. Eventually it did.
Last team to win back-to-back titles, Albrechts Niigata. In fact, they'd won 4 in a row between 2015 and 2018.
Yeah, incredible, really. 4 in a row, and with the way Albrechts are built, it's almost
Even
4
more,
different teams.
Yeah, absolutely right. Looked like a handball.
That should be a handball, shouldn't it?
You can see the fury there on the sidelines from Marko Kraljevic. Here's Harris. I think those stoppages have kind of taken maybe a little bit out of the game. It was pretty intense, wasn't it, earlier on?
I think it's a case as well of the Lion City Sailors. Now that they have the lead,
True.
they're quite happy to just keep it.
Here's Lopez. That's a great run from Lestienne. Van Huysen. Oh, he spilt that initially, Zeifel.
You know, you don't always play at 100 kilometers an hour. You don't always play at a very quick tempo. You've got to be able to vary that. You see this ball coming in from Van Huysen. It's far too close to Zeifel. Especially when you've got the lead now. There are times when you will just hang on to it and try and draw that press from the opposition.
Yeah. Robson. This is Takayama. No shots yet on target for Hougang United. No shots off target yet for Lion City Sailors. Here's Vestering. And there's Aplin. Abdil Kaim. Ajay Robson. Having to be very patient about this at the moment, Hougang. We beat Tampines Rovers, also the favourites in last year's final, so they really understand the dynamics of this. Quite happy, I'm sure, to be the underdogs. Here's Lestienne. He's looking for Zivkovic.
Pretty interesting the way it's going at the moment. That's situation at times where it feels like they're quite happy for each other in certain phases of play to allow the opposition to have the ball.
Here's Aplin, puts a cross in. Maksimovic won't get there. He's been a bit isolated.
Yeah, but that's been his role for Hougang up front. He's that lone striker, having to do a lot on his own in those attacking areas. Maksimovic.
can feel that tension. There's a bit of that nervous energy. Big match. And the careers for all these players. You know, you look at the likes of Harris and Anu, Lestien, Živkovic, Lopez, lots of quality, lots of experience. Well, they still haven't won a Singapore Cup with the Lion City Sailors.
Yeah. That's the, and actually, in terms of major silverware, it's just the league title.
Yeah.
Here's Ajay Robson. Of course, the twist in the tail now is that Albrecht Niigata will become a localized team next season.
So might have a 10th team in the league.
Might have a 10th team, yeah, absolutely. So it's all got very interesting for next year.
Yoshinaga sticking around with Albrecht Niigata. That's going to be really interesting, that project over there.
I'm sure that's a great opportunity for local footballers. Here's Anu. Azukainen. Saw the run of Lestien. Away by Vestering. Maksimovic will get to that.
Well, Hougang were perhaps a little bit unfortunate to concede that penalty, but otherwise, defensively, they've done a very good job. They're not allowing the Lion City Sailors to penetrate through the middle of the pitch. You can see Harris and Anu, they've always got players on them. They're not allowing the Sailors to try and find those spaces through the middle. They're having to go around on the outside. So actually, penalty aside, Hougang, to me, defensively have done really well.
Solidity has been one of their hallmarks during this cup campaign. Here's Aplin. Harris on the ball here for Lion City Sailors. 5 minutes left in this first half. There's probably going to be just as much at a time with the VAR check for the penalty and the stoppage for Nathan Mao's injury. Zulkainen finds Maxime Lestien. Advancing into the penalty area. Is he going to take a shot? It's an own goal! Just before half-time, Lion City Sailors have struck again. And it's a really unfortunate one for Hougang United.
Oh, so unlucky. So unlucky. Hougang really. I mean, how unfortunate is this? Lestien, I think that is going out. It's going wide. He's trying to whip it towards the far post. That's a good bit of play initially just to take it around onto his left foot. Kuriyama, so unlucky to have a penalty awarded against him. And he's tracking back here, trying to get into the line of that shot. And it coming off his head. I mean, Lion City Sailors will absolutely take this. Of course they will. But muted celebrations from Lestien as well.
Listen, 2 goals, when they look back at this, it's going to hurt, isn't it? Well, for now, I think they are awarding it to him, but that may well change. just before half-time. This one is going to hurt Hougang. Here's O'Kailan. Here's Lestienne, officially our goal scorer. He's broken his drought, Roshan.
Yep.
for now.
I mean,
here's Harris.
I was just going to say that I think it should be an own goal.
Yeah.
But it looks like for now he's been awarded it.
We're being told only 4 minutes of added time. Kraljevic will want his charges back in the changing rooms to figure out a plan of action for the second half. That was late.
Oh,
And
Vestry.
he's now in some trouble. Oh, referee, did he reach into his pocket?
I think he thought about it.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? Well, if there's a red card now, or a second yellow, then, I mean, ordinarily that's a yellow card, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it's one of those situations where if he wasn't already booked, he would have been booked there. But
I mean, I mean, you've got to say it would almost look like game over if he got sent off now.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think again that's a case of the referee, I think, having a bit of sympathy, having a bit of a feel for the moment.
You may well see Vestry not appearing in the second half.
But
I wonder whether Nazrul goes into. Would they put Nazrul at left back?
Potentially, if they take Vestering out, but
do you risk your Haswans or your Gabriel Quacks if they're not even fully fit?
that's the thing. This is where we really get to see how fit those options on the bench are.
Here's Lestienne to Lopez. Away by Applin. Here's Nathan Mao. Chris Van Huysen. Oh, it's a good-looking header. Lionel Tan just over.
Oh, so close to making that 3. Really good leap from Lionel Tan. Decent effort. He's got a lot of time there, Christopher Van Huysen, to set himself up for the cross. Something we've seen across the year, the fullbacks not being quick enough to go and close down the crossing opportunities. Hougang really need a lift. They look deflated at the moment.
Yeah.
The confidence that they were playing with at the start of this match seems to have gone out of this side, and I think the Sailors sense this. You start to see them now perhaps really put Hougang under pressure. High up the pitch.
Would the silver lining be, look, the 2 goals we've conceded, you can't legislate for. I mean, is that how you got to spin it? These were just silly lapses as they come forward here. Nazrul Lazari, can he cut it back? Well, he wanted the ball so much earlier, didn't he, Maximovic?
Yeah, I think it probably should have gone into him a little bit earlier. He actually made that movement, and there was a space, there was an opportunity for Nazrul for the cutback. And hopefully, from Haugang's perspective, I think he got his head up, but he didn't quite spot him. Can't really blame Maximovic. Goes in and shows for the cutback. I guess maybe if you want to be hypercritical, you say, okay, the cutback hasn't come. Can you make a second movement somewhere else?
Let's see if they can pull one back in the last minute or so. Sahil, that's gone out of play.
Yeah, you can see they're having a real issue now with the mental side of the game.
Yeah.
To me, I feel, you know, they will have this sense of injustice and things are just not going their way. And it's building now towards halftime. Marco has got a big job on his hands in terms of at least trying to get them to refocus in that mental state of mind. You talked about, trying to say, handball went against us, that deflection or that what should have been an own goal went against us. We're 2-0 down.
And that's it, right? Really? Because you said they've been fairly solid.
That's right. I think they've been fairly solid, which is strange to say that they're 2 goals down, but I don't remember Lion City Sailors really creating any serious danger.
Here's Nathan Mao. It's gone out of play. On the other hand, Roshan, they haven't created too many real openings either, have they?
Hougang.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the other aspect of it. Yes, reset that mental frame of mind, but also now in terms of how do we maybe change up the formation, become a bit more expansive, a bit more aggressive in the attacking play.
I've actually, having looked at the sheet again, and I mean, I'm excited to see him. Edraki Adnan is someone who really kind of lit up the scene when he was last playing regularly.
Yeah,
but again, he's not.
He's been out a long time.
Exactly.
And it's difficult to, in a cup final, really put your faith in him to try and turn things around. He's slowly just starting to get minutes, is Idraki.
You then also see there are 3 teenagers.
Yeah.
2 17-year-olds and an 18-year-old. 3 17-year-olds, yeah. So it's tough, isn't it, for Hougang? Oh, that's almost a careless giveaway. And we are just about to hit those 4 minutes.
I mean, Amy Reka would be the obvious option from off the bench to bring on.
So we have just hit half-time here in a match that has seen one potentially controversial goal, a penalty awarded to Lion City Sailors for a handball that took some time to decide on via VAR, then an on-field review, and then scored by Zivkovic. And right before half-time, Maxime Lestienne awarded a goal. Perhaps it could have been an own goal. It means Lion City Sailors at half-time here in the Singapore Cup final are leading Hougang United by 2-0. it's half-time here, Jalan Besar Stadium, Singapore Cup final. And Lion City Sailors are leading 2-0 against Hougang United. There are your goal scorers. Let's tell you the story of this game so far. And, well, what should the chances? There weren't that many, were there, before we got the goals? Lionel Tankia, I mean, if this is a highlight, then you know, that kind of tells you the story, doesn't it?
Yeah, nothing really in the way, I think, of clear-cut opportunities. He just mistimes the contact with the ball net, Lionel Tan, and that's why he can't really generate much power behind it.
And then we had this moment here where Lestienne cuts onto his, well, people thought he'd go with his left, he goes to the right instead.
Yeah, and I mean, the defenders do well here, just surround him, force him onto his right foot, and that also cuts off the angle there for Lestienne to try and aim at towards goal. It's a difficult angle really to finish from, and on his right leg, and Zeifel then just does his job, covering the near post and making a good save.
Then the contentious moment here that led to the penalty. Was this a handball from Kuriyama? Referee had no hesitation in pointing to the spot and went to review it after that.
Yeah, I don't think I would have awarded it, but the referee obviously felt there was a movement of the arm enough to award the penalty, to stick with his on-field decision. Grand scheme of things, I don't really have too much of an issue with that. And Živković had to step up, they had to get on with it, and he put that away nicely.
It's been a good season for Jairo Živković. And after that, it kind of, this game lost a little bit of its intensity, but every so often, we had some moments, and this was the second goal, perhaps the deciding one here. An own goal, we thought it was, but it's been awarded to Maxime Lestienne.
Yeah, and I think the initial shot was actually going wide. I mean, it comes off Naoki Kuriyama. That's a massive deflection. To me, that's an own goal, and it's heartbreaking for Hougang, really. We've had a look at the opportunities in this first half. I don't think the Lion City Sailors have been exceptional or really dangerous in those moments. But since it's become 2-0, they're well in control of this. Yeah. Hougang's heads have dropped. Lionel Tan there with a chance to make it 3. Look at all the time he's got, Christopher Van Huysen, to send a cross in on that side. Not quick enough to close down crosses, and that puts pressure on the rest of your defense.
Stats-wise, as you can see, there's not much in it. They haven't had a shot on goal, but really, they weren't troubled. Okay, a couple of Lionel Tan potential headers, but that was about it, right?
Yeah, I think that was about it. It's really, Hougang United, I think, can feel a little bit hard done by, but they have to, during this halftime break, try and find a way to forget about that, yeah, and really push on in the second and say there's still 45 minutes to go. We're not out of it completely. Reset that mentality and then change it tactically to try to change the approach and attack the Sailors a little bit more.
Well, we'll know soon enough. The second half is coming up. Short break here. When we return, it's the Singapore Cup Finals, second half here. Lion City Sailors and Hougang United. Second half of this Singapore Cup final about to get underway here. Lion City Sailors leading Hougang United by 2-0, and there has been a change for the Sailors. Shawal Anwar is on for Nathan Mile. We saw him take quite the knock, didn't we, just after that first goal. And if things couldn't get any worse for Hougang, it's to see this man on the pitch so early on. He's been excellent this season, hasn't he, Shawal Anwar?
He's been great for the last couple of seasons, Shawal Anwar, I would say. He's a player I really enjoy watching. I think he's so intelligent. Everybody always talks about his pace. Yeah, he's got good pace, but his movement off the ball is fantastic. Great technical ability as well. He sees things, and he can finish off chances in the area. I mean, we spoke about the attacking talent, and then being able to bring on Shawal Anwar as well to add to that is just fantastic for the Lion City Sailors. There he is, and we're going to cause all sorts of problems for his former club. Scored a goal against them in the group stage already, in that 1-1 draw.
So we were speculating as to whether Hougang United would make any changes. And for now, they are holding fire on that. Interestingly, John Vestring has been treading a very, very fine line. Arguably escaped a red card on 2 occasions. But now it's really about just picking yourself up, isn't it, if you're Hougang United?
Yeah. And that approach has to be very different in this second half. We've got 45 minutes to try and rescue this. If they start the way they did in this match, it'll cause a bit of concern for the Lion City Sailors. Need to get a bit more support into Maximovic.
It's a great overlapping run there. It looked like from Nazwa Nazari. Was there a foul? No, referee says not.
Had to play it earlier, Sahil, much earlier.
Here's Lestienne. He's giving it away. Irwan Shah. Just near that touch. Maximovic. And it looks up. Flag stays down. Here is Lestienne. Still going. Gets the cross in. That falls nicely. Lopez hits it over, and the flag only now goes up for that offside on Lestienne.
He's getting some abuse from the players as the assistant referee, but he's just going with what he's been told, what he's been instructed to do, which is to delay the flag.
They know this, though. The players know that.
Yeah, but I guess it's just in that moment. You want to let out some of that frustration. Vestering has got to be very careful down that side. Already on a yellow, already on his final warning. Got away with one earlier.
No foul. An early goal would be exactly what Hougang need in the second half, just to really give them that boost. Here's Robson. Now Anders Aplin. He was looking for Robson there. Cut out by Živković.
A couple of examples there of good screening from the Lion City Sailors. Živković with that, and then just before that, Harris cutting out the pass from Ajay Robson. Just blocking off the channels, the passing lanes. Look at Takayama trying to offer up a route to progress the ball, being squeezed in midfield.
Sahil. Festering, needed a better cross. That's fallen low nicely to Nazrul. Or Irwan, rather.
Now, the problem for Hougang United is they don't have very technical attacking wing-backs who are capable of putting in consistent quality from wide areas. And you can see Maximovic was really frustrated with that cross from Vestering.
Here's first time we're really seeing Shawal. Heavy touch from Van Huysen, but he gets away with it. Now Lestienne. Goal kick here for Hougang United. Lots of speculation. Is he going to stick around or not? The word is that he is. Hasn't been officially confirmed. Love to see him continue here.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it just adds lots of quality. He's a lot of fun to watch, isn't he, Maxime Lestienne?
Says he's very settled in Singapore.
You want to have players of that caliber in the league.
If he stays, that sends a good message out, doesn't it? Surely.
Yeah. I mean, in an ideal world, you would have foreigners like that playing for
across the board,
across the league.
Well, with more moves with Tampines Rovers and the BG Patum.
That's what some clubs are trying to do.
Yep.
Just having a look at this challenge by right on Maximovic. He was late, painful one for Maximovic.
Very right. Also just come back into the lineup. Only a handful of appearances this season. He's had injury problems since his high-profile move from England to Singapore. There's another one of quality.
Yeah, how about that for a story, by the way? Going from playing in the Championship to playing in the Premier League.
Oh, that was a good ball, wasn't it? They're saying handball here. And of course, it is Kuriyama with the loudest shouts.
Or could this be a way back for Hougang? Oh,
I mean,
it does make contact with his arm, but
it's
again,
tucked in, isn't it?
It's tucked in right beside his body.
Now, of course, Kuriyama's going to say, well, look.
Same situation, not same, but similar situation. I mean, you can't. Well, as much as they're appealing for that, where else is he supposed to put his arm there?
It was tucked in, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There was a bit of air for Kuriyama's, I think that was the point that Verolina was making. That is a shot that he will not really want to look at again. Nazrul quickly kicked by Izwan Mahmoud. Oh, he's done well here. Shawal, he's waiting for the run. Too much on that from Kuriyama to his compatriot. Anlis does well. You can understand why Kuriyama, of all people, was...
Oh, absolutely.
Which is what any player is going to do that now,
I mean, you need to have an auto appeal as a player. An auto appeal function. Always, always, always switched on. You have to ask the questions.
Let them decide on the answer, right? Good noise from the crowd as well. Good support here for the final. As of now, it is Lion City Sailors in the driving seat. 2 goals to the good. It's been a decent start to the second half as well, again, isn't it, for Hougang?
Yeah. Looking to try and just open up the Lion City Sailors if they can. A bit more adventure in attack. But the Sailors as well, I mean, with that 2-goal lead, I think they're quite happy. We saw this in the first half as well. Lion City Sailors aren't exactly that interested in pressing high up, playing an aggressive pressing game. Quite happy to just let you have the ball, as long as it's in positions that aren't really dangerous to them.
Here's Živkovic.
And I could see RJ Robson playing for the Lion City Sailors in the future. He's really impressive, RJ Robson.
Yeah, they've shown a lot of faith in him, right, almost from the very beginning of the season. He's an automatic starter, despite being an underage player.
The absence of Zulfami Arifin as well as and Shadan being out injured has helped to accelerate, I think, his progress. And he's been starting matches alongside Irwan. A little bit late there, but his work rate and energy infectious. I think he just puts himself about. He works so hard. I think decision making at times at the professional level will have to come along. It's something to develop. But
we saying it's a future Singapore international for you?
I think so, yes. If he continues in his uptrend, in his development.
Here's Bailey Wright. Up to Shawal. Given away. Here's Živkovic. Now Harris. Lopez. Back to the skipper for LCS. Traffic there, but they've somehow found a way through. Here's Lopez for Lion City Sailors. Challenge by Irwan Shah. He's had a few on him, hasn't he, today?
Yeah, I think he expects that, right? He's a player who's going to be carrying the ball. Want to try and provoke the defenders in a sense. You want to draw them out towards you. I think you can expect to take the hits.
I mean, when you come in with that kind of price tag to Singapore football, there's always that kind of...
Yeah.
You put a target on your back whether you like it or not.
I have to be clear, I have to clarify that when I said provoke, I don't mean in a negative way. I mean getting them to step out, to come and engage in that sense.
But he's one that, you know, that will attract the ball.
Absolutely, that's what I mean, yeah. You know, with Maxime Lestien as well, you often hear some of the players who used to play in the league who say they wouldn't have given him that much respect. But again, it's all it's all talk until you're out there, right? Actually coming up against someone like him. I think there's a thinking that perhaps he gets a bit too much respect, a bit too much time.
Sure.
There aren't many real rough challenges put in on him, but.
Well, you know, former players...
Not coming from me. Not coming from me.
This,
I think
not from this ex-player.
No.
But look, everyone had some great players in their time as well, right? So I wonder whether players before them would have said the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult discussion to have, right? Because how do you compare across the generations?
But anyway, there are real quality, so much quality about those two. They have this telepathic relationship as well. It's just this understanding. It's amazing. Here's Zulkainen. Harris. Živkovic gives it away. Sahil. Couple of players down. Bailey Wright heads it away. Here's Lionel Tan. up against his former club. In fact, he was a goal scorer the last time, the only time that Hougang, in fact, have beaten LCS. That was in March of 2021. 3-1 they won. Only victory in 13 matches. 8 wins, 4 draws to Lion City Sailors overall.
Cruyffton, and it's a delay with the fall there from Sahil. Actually goes over on Živkovic. He's down receiving treatment on his ankle.
Great story about Živkovic and the number he wears on his back, 34. It's to honor his friend Abdelhak Nouri, who we played with at Ajax, who unfortunately suffered some serious brain damage. It's not something he likes talking about too much, but it's something obviously very poignant, resonates with him strongly. And in fact, Abdelhak Nouri played here for the Ajax under-15s at the Lion City Cup back in 2012. Got a fantastic chipped goal in the 4-1 win over the Singapore under-16s, and then he went on to play in the senior team a couple of years later with Živkovic at Ajax Amsterdam.
But it's almost a similar sort of tempo, this game, to the third and fourth placing match, or the third place playoff, just now between Tampines and DPMM. Tampines also with that 2-goal lead going into the second half, and they just controlled it very well. DPMM weren't able to really press and cause them any problems.
But LCS don't really have to do anything else right now, do they?
That's the thing. It's you wouldn't blame Tampines for hanging on to that scoreline to seeing the game out. It's professional. At the same time, you don't blame the Lion City Sailors for this as well. The slower the game is, the better for them. With the lead that they have, it's nudged in the back, right by Maksimovic.
So the ball really is in Hougang score. They're the ones who are going to create now. They want to go do something.
Absolutely, they're the ones who have to try and force the tempo of this game, trying to increase the intensity of the play.
Well, we've gone past the hour mark, and you wonder when Marko Kraljevic, just at the bottom of your screen for a second, is going to pull the trigger and start to think about some changes here.
See, this is where I'm wondering whether he actually has those options available to him. Remember I said earlier at the start, whether it's just a bit of mind games, naming those players on the bench.
The only one that you reckoned would be a certainty, you'd think, is Amy Reka.
Yeah, unless he's picked up something somehow.
Right.
Towards the end of that game against DPMM, or in training for this one.
They ask for the corner, and they get it.
I mean, it looks at the moment, they need a lift from somewhere.
Right. Presumably that comes from also maybe the introduction of someone that would help.
You know, fresh legs, perhaps fresh ideas. You know, one of the things that we spoke about in the build-up to this match as well is the lack of depth in Hougang's squad.
Yeah. Lionel got something on that. Another corner.
They've got these set-piece situations, Hougang. You can try and make use of. There's not too much going on for them in open play. Now, these are the areas that perhaps they can give the Sailors a little bit of a headache. 5 corners for Hougang already. Oh, somebody's gone down in the area. Looking like...
the referee's seen something.
It's Bailey Wright. Let's have a look there. Abdil and Bailey Wright.
Oh,
a bit of a forearm there from Abdul Qayyum. Hearing those chants of send him off from the Lion City Sailors fans.
Referee's not taking any further action on this, it would appear, apart from dealing with it right away and just having a talking to. Oh, just debated about everyone there. Irwan. Foul then. Sahil by Shawal.
That's good play from Sahil. It's such a difficult ball to take down. You just have a look at how smart he is. Yeah, he gets his body in the way. His first intention is to protect that space, use his body, get it across. Not allow Shawal to get ahead on that. And as he turns, Shawal just decides that he has to take him down. Good delivery. A good delivery needed in these situations. They've got numbers in there, Hougang, to attack it.
That is a good ball. Lestienne, I think, got the header.
Bailey right, well positioned in there, just as they dropped off.
Nazrul. Well, it feels like the crowd are also sensing something is on here. The noise has picked up and it's coinciding with a good bit of movement here. Has he gone down, Sahil? Chris Van Huysen. Was he the one with the foul? Marko Kraljevic has been calmed down. They've got up the other end. Could they score? Oh, Shawal doesn't get to it. It's still alive here for the Sailors. Abdil. Oh, he's lost it out. Zivkovic. You can see the arms outstretched there by Nazrul. They've got to carry on. There is an ongoing check for that. Until then, here Lion City Sailors, Van Huysen. Now Lestienne. Saiful gets enough on it, falls to Zivkovic. Harris. Oh, he was looking to curl that into the far corner. Lestienne now. This is the incident.
I think he had already decided what he was going to do there, Sahil. He knew he was going to chop it another time and go down. There was nothing in it. He'd already made up his mind. Sees that outstretched leg, decides that he's just going to go down there. Now Vestering's in a bit of difficulty. He's clutching his hamstring. Sahil Suhaimi going down before the contact even came.
Vestering, well, we were speculating as to whether he would even stay on the pitch for the second half, and looks like he's done. Now, what are they going to do? This forces the hand. What would he do? Would he bring on Amy Reka and maybe move Nazrul to midfield, to defence?
Maybe just go with a back four even, because you've got a left-footed central defender in Kazuma Takayama who can play at left back. We'll just have Kuriyama and Abdil in central defence, and the Zeppelin on the right. And try and put another player in more of an advanced role. Just go into a back four maybe instead of a five.
Amy Reka is about to come on.
There he goes.
Well, it's a change we were speculating on anyway earlier. It has come because Jordan Vestering went down.
Jordan Vestering is replaced by number 7, Amy Reka.
So let's see what he's going to do here with the formation with the personnel he's got on the field.
Well,
Looks like Nazrul has gone there, hasn't he?
Yeah, looks like he's decided to go with Nazrul instead in that position.
Does that blunt things for you a little?
Yeah, I'm just having a bit of think about it because I want to see what the setup is on the right side. Yes, sticking with the same. Yeah, I mean, it could be a case of Nazrul just dropping in there at times, but when they have it, maybe the instructions are you go and get advanced because we've got Kazuma Takayama.
And worst case scenario, you've also got Irwan Shah.
Yeah, to cover in those positions.
There's also another left back by trade in the past. Well, Amy Reka, Sail Suhaimi and George Maksimovic. Pretty good front three.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I just wonder whether they could have been joined, they could have become a front four with Nazrul being pushed.
Well, that could still happen later on, as you say,
well,
right?
Yeah.
Still at least 20-odd minutes left in this.
Thing is, he's probably thinking that he still needs to double up on Maxime Lestienne. He needs to have 5 across. So he has 2 down the left, 1 to engage to be the first one, and then Takayama's number 2.
Nazrul, sorry, Zaiful. Just doing enough. Oh, the flag's gone up anyway.
He's trying to get himself back on side.
Here's Nazrul. Abdel Kaim. In by Aplin.
I was thinking maybe get Sahil closer to Maksimovic and then Amy Reka on one
Like a
side,
2?
Nazrul on the other.
You're wanting Nazrul up there again, aren't you?
I am. I really am. I mean, you're 2 goals down coming into the final.
Yeah, you
20
might as
minutes
well,
or
right?
so.
Yeah. Would you sacrifice one of the back 3?
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
So you just, like I said,
shift
you just
across.
shift
Right,
across
right,
and,
okay, right.
and get Nazrul to get up. You
Yeah.
know, because I said you have Kazuma Takayama who can play at left back in a pinch.
I mean, you've got to do something, right? You've got
You
20
have
minutes.
to, because it's a little bit uninspiring at the moment. There's nothing really that's changed about it from Hougang United's perspective in this second half. They haven't really posed much of a threat. There you go. Nazrul stepping up and taking it off Lestienne.
Nazrul gets it. Out to Amy Reka. Straight ahead is one.
Just couldn't squeeze it into that space. And it really wasn't much for him to work with.
Zivkovic is down.
Follow through there, connecting with Anders Aplin.
There's Lestienne. Away by Kuriyama. Amy Reka.
So I was just going to say, look, that might have been a handball actually from Irwan. Nothing came out of it, so play will continue.
Now Lopez, too much on that. Irwan Shah, Amy Rekha. Up against Sukainen, who's done well there.
He went over and got himself back up, obtained possession for his side. Well, Land City Sailors look in really good control here.
Here's Lestienne. Oh, he was looking to slip that through to his buddy Diego Lopez.
Wonderful vision from Lestienne. Beautiful disguise on that pass. Just a bit too much on that for Lopez, unfortunately, from the Sailors' point of view.
You feel it kind of needs to pick up in pace and urgency?
Absolutely. But it's not down to the Sailors to do that.
No, as in from from Hougang's point of view.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It feels a bit pedestrian at the moment.
Yeah, but the Sailors are very comfortable.
They're quite happy with this, right?
Unless they make mistakes like that. I feel like the only way back for Hougang in this one is if the Land City Sailors start to let
an unforced error or something.
Errors creep into their game.
Maybe a bit of frustration here. Maksimovic
and Lionel Tan just having a go at each other.
Yeah, you'd imagine with 15 minutes to go, you're trailing 2-0, and with a couple of very decent, more than decent attackers on the bench, you'd have probably played them by now, if they were all fit, right?
Yeah, I think they've just been named on there. I don't think they're fit enough. And I have sympathy for Marko Kraljevic and Hougang, because they don't have the squad. They don't have the options to really change it up. Here they are bringing on Luka Tan.
That probably tells you now.
Yeah, who's 18. He's a talented young player. Coming on for Silas Sohaimi. He's quick, Luka Tan. Again, he'll work hard up front. He'll try and make something happen if he can. But when you look at the names that they have on the bench, and they're not being able to call upon them. Gabriel Kwak and Hazwan Halim, both still out injured.
And that's the thing, isn't it? When Hougang have got their 13 to maybe 15 players all purring along, they're a very, very decent side, on paper at least.
Yeah. That's a disappointing thing about Hougang the last couple of seasons in the league, is that you always think on paper they've got so much promise, they've got the talent in there, and then it just doesn't turn up, just doesn't show up somehow. Last season they were able to rescue the year with a cup win.
Yeah.
But even they would have admitted the league campaign was very poor.
Here is Tan now. He's got his hands in the air. Robson. Look at Abdul Qayyum there. He's not the one you want relying on crosses.
No. It's just frustrating, because decent phase of possession, worked the ball out wide. They had 3 or 4 players in the box looking to try and attack across. But the quality from the wider positions is something I touched on earlier as well with Vestering and Aplin, and it's not going to be able, it's not coming. Just, that's not the qualities that they have.
Anu goes off, Marshall that midfield with Haris Harun, who's replaced by Hami Shahin. All it takes is that one goal, perhaps. Lestienne. It's just very comfortable for the Sailors. Lestienne. Oh. A joy to watch Maxime Lestienne.
Lopez and Živkovic are letting him know that he should have passed it, should have given it to them.
He wants a clean goal.
I was just going to say exactly that. He wants a proper goal.
It's not really working out for Hougang at the moment. Shawal. And that is it now, surely. Shawal Anwar does what he does best. It's a third goal for Lion City Sailors with 10 minutes to go in this cup final.
As I said, he's got very intelligent movement off the ball. He's got great timing with his runs in behind opposition defenses. That's another example of that. And when he gets in the area, he can finish. Kept his cool. Isn't a look at it. Flex stayed down. Look at that. Beautiful. I think Abdel just steps up a little bit too late. The Shawal timed it to perfection. Great pass from Lestienne as well. And once he gets in, all about keeping his head, keeping his cool. Good finish. No problems with that goal. Abdel Kayem slow to step up. Shawal bending his run, really well timed. Good discipline with that movement. Really good discipline. Great finish.
Scoring against his former club as well, Shawal, and there's going to be no doubts on this one. Another assist for Maxime Lestienne. My goodness.
That's it now, I think.
Singing his name in the terraces now. What a fantastic season he's had. And he's not exactly commanding a starting place either in this incredible side.
He plays such an important role for them. And I think Rankovic will know that he's a player that he can really count on, whether he's starting, whether he's coming on off the bench. Not the kind of player as well that you hear of causing any sorts of issues.
Yeah, fascinating to see what LCS do for next season. What movements they're going to be.
Yeah, it's always very interesting, the off-season.
Yeah.
I think in terms of the rumours, the players who are moving across to the various clubs. We already spoke about what Elbrex could be looking to do, what Lion City Sailors might be looking to do.
Živkovic hasn't really had a sight on goal today.
Did well there, Abdel, just to come across quickly on Živkovic.
We haven't really seen this one tested at all, have we, in the second half? Trying to recall if that's happened. I don't think so.
They've done nothing really in the second half, Hougang. I can't think of much in moments where they've really threatened.
That's been the disappointing factor, isn't it?
Yeah. Looked more of a threat in the first half.
Yeah.
Maybe first 20 minutes
yeah.
or so of this game.
Up to that goal, and then it all kind of, the heads dropped, didn't it?
Yeah.
Quite visibly.
Well, there was a reaction to that goal as well already. That yes, the players on the pitch lying down and
Devastated. They
devastated already, almost sort of accepting that their fate.
Well, Lion City Sailors look like they're on their way to their second piece of major silverware in domestic football. A club that started in 2020. Haris Harun. So a delightful ball up to left centre, is now on the left-hand side. Cleared away.
I mean, it's still 5-4-1 here at 3-0 down.
Where they've copped some big defeats against Lion City Sailors. 16 goals conceded in 3 games, 3 league games this season. Just showed the gulf. So as of now, it stands at 20 goals conceded by Lion City Sailors in 5 matches. It could be more to come. Change here. Lion City Sailors now letting other players have a bit of a run out. That's nice to see. Diego Lopez, another fantastic match from him. Adam Swandy gets a bit of a cameo, so does Haikal Pasha.
Yeah, Haikal Pasha doesn't get too many starts, so it doesn't really get too many minutes. We've been given an opportunity in this cup final. Adam Swandy as well.
Well, it's nice that they're getting a bit of a run out anyway in the final, isn't it?
Yeah, and absolutely no pressure as well coming on in this situation. Because that's the end. It's a good bit of defending from Kuriyama. Well, he was fighting and struggling to try and keep a hold of it.
Already trying to make an impression there, Haikal. They're asking him to shoot. Kind of slipped as he was doing that. It'll be a corner there, Haris Harun.
Well, the way it's been going for Hougang, you almost thought that deflection was going to end up in goal. Well, why not have a shot? I mean, it opened up for him. There's lots of space for him to set himself up with the first touch, even a second, before unleashing with a third.
And final change here for Lion City Sailors. Hafiz Noor, and a like-for-like change was Zulkainen. There's a celebratory mood already.
Yeah, job done. You know, look at that.
Big hug. Wow, he's smiling. Rankovic. He knows he's almost there. A real pound of shots. Oh, barely right. So already scored a couple goals since his brief time in the club.
Yeah, he's quite a threat in these set-piece situations. Quick snapshot on the turn. Oh, that's the end.
Now, is he going to get one here? Just overruns the ball. Three minutes of added time, we're being told.
Have they now decided to move Nazrul Nazari up front? I mean, flag has gone up for offside. Well, Amy's gone down. He's being told to get up by his own teammates.
Yeah.
He just had Takayama shouting at him to get back up on his feet.
Is that his throat?
Getting a bit of sympathy there from Maksimovic. Just coming across to ask the referee, how is that not a foul? There was an arm from Hafiz Noor. It was connected with his throat, perhaps.
Yeah, you're right. Nasrul's up there now, just
There will be a minimum of 3 minutes of added time.
A minute for each goal.
You're already hearing that. Oh, chance here! It's been put away. Takayama. But it comes right at the end of this match. Surely that's just a compensatory goal, but consolation goal, I should say. Or is it?
I mean, it's going to take a pretty spectacular collapse from here for the Lion City, from the Lion City Sailors.
I feel it's that tweak with Nazrul going further up, straining that pressure.
Good finish. Good finish from Kazuma Takayama. Gives the Hougang fans something to cheer at least.
Hougang United by player number 6, Kazuma Takayama.
Here's Lestienne. Adam Swanley. He's done well. Hougang are going to make a change. And it is going to be Indraki Adnan. It's going to come on now. Here's Chris Van Huysen.
One of the Sailors just capable of actually keeping the ball all the way through until the 3 minutes, and then poor Indraki won't have the opportunity to come on. I mean, it's looking that way.
Yeah, because we've only got, in theory, a minute. There's going to be maybe 30 seconds added on for that goal. But Takayama scored. Hafiz. Touch on from Maksimovic. Irwan Shah looking for someone to aim at. Here's Haikal. Foul by Amy Reka is going to go into the book.
Yeah, just a bit of frustration being shown by Amy Reka.
I think he did that to allow
The substitution.
his friend, his teammate to come on.
His teammate to come on, okay.
Number 36, Abdul Qayyim is replaced by player number 18, Indraki Adnan.
So Abdul makes way for maybe a few seconds on for Indraki. Who's an exciting player, who was anyway, until he had that very serious injury. about what, a year and a half ago now, it seems like?
He's been out for a long time, almost 2 full seasons.
He doesn't get to touch the ball. We've got a new Singapore Cup champion for the very first time. It's Lion City Sailors. Their second piece of major silverware. And they've won this in style, haven't they?
They have. Good start from Hougang in terms of the first 10-20 minutes of this match or so, and then the Lion City Sailors grew into their rhythm, got the momentum going. They got the goals, and perhaps a little bit of good fortune going their way with the penalty call, and then that heavy deflection of Naoki Kuriyama making it 2-0. And once they were in that position, it was very hard to see Hougang coming back. Very hard to see Lion City Sailors not taking control of the match and not making the most of that 2-goal cushion. And Hougang, I think, just didn't have enough in the tank, didn't have enough quality to turn things around in the end, just ran out of ideas, didn't have that creativity in that game. And it was the Lion City Sailors who cruised to the Singapore Cup trophy.
Hugs all round celebration. It's a real team effort. He described his last match against Tampines Rovers as perfect. I wonder what he'd say about today's performance. 3 goals again, but they did concede one right at the end. That was just a consolation. It ends here at Jalan Besar Stadium. Lion City Sailors 3, Hougang United 1. And we look back at this match, and it was a really good start to it overall for both sides, but it was Lion City Sailors who created those chances, didn't they, Maxime Lestendia?
Yeah, that's right. Again, it took them a bit of time to sort of really get going. Lestien being forced away onto his right foot. The angle was against him. Zaiful, expect him to make a save in that situation. It's going to take a really good strike to beat Zaiful from there. Here's a bit of that, well, not a bit of that, here is the contentious moment, bit of controversy, I was going to say, as Kuriyama is the judge to have handled the ball. The referee has no hesitation in pointing to the spot, so he's absolutely convinced. The VAR recommended an on-field review, and he stuck to his initial decision. Penalty was awarded. Živković stepping up to take this. It's a really well-placed penalty. Zaiful, you know, he reads it, he goes the right way, but there's just too much on that from Živković for Zaiful to make the save.
So that was 1-0, and we were already talking about maybe heads dropping a little, and Lion City Sailors were taking advantage. They were creating all kinds of opportunities, and then this own goal just before half-time, it kind of almost felt like the final nail, even before the 3rd goal.
Yeah, and you saw Hougang players, their heads just dropped. You watch them collapsing to the turf here. It's very unlucky, and you can understand the reaction to that, because again, you just feel like first the handball going against us, and then this. How unfortunate must we be in a cup final? Very unlucky.
Well, into the second half, and Kuriyama, the hapless Kuriyama, was hoping something would go his way. Asked for a handball here, Chris Van Huysen. It was not given. This one very much more tucked in than, say, his was. And then we had this 3rd goal. It's a lovely ball from Maxime Lessen into Shaul Anwar.
Yeah, really well timed. Shaul Anwar with a good run, good discipline, keeps himself onside. Picked up by Lestien, just had to make the movement when he saw that Lestien was ready to play the pass. Bent his run, kept himself onside, and then he kept his composure and had a look, had another look, takes it around Zaiful to open up the angle for the finish. And this is not a simple finish at all. He has to still squeeze it past Zaiful, gets his reward for that.
Well, they were the only ones really creating any sort of chances in this period, Lion City Sailors. And here was another one, Bailey Wright, trying to get in on the action.
Yeah, just a quick shot on the turn from Bailey Wright, just wobbling about.
And then the consolation goal from Takayama right at the end, in added time.
Yeah, one of the set pieces that they actually made count in this game. Good header from Abdil, set it up, picks up the assist there, And it's a nice finish, tidy finish from Kazuma Takayama, but just not enough in the end for Hougang. Too little, too late.
So as they set up there for the prize giving ceremony, here are the stats. Well, it's all pretty much in favour of one team only.
Yeah, deserved winners, the Lion City Sailors. You know, they were in control of this one. Hougang never really caused them any problems. You can see with the numbers there. I think it was something like 4 shots in the first half for Hougang United. They've only added 2 more in the second 45 when they were chasing the game and 2-0 down. So just didn't do enough to cause any problems for the Sailors, who are deserved winners.
Only that one shot on target all match. Here is the summary of it all, with that road to the final. Very emphatic road to the final for both Hougang and Lion City Sailors, but it was also an emphatic final in itself, with Lion City Sailors winning this extremely comfortably in the end, despite that late goal that we saw from Hougang United. So we will be just awaiting that award ceremony. Let's just show you though, we just showed the result there of Tampines Rovers beating DPMM in the third force playoff. Let's show you the highlights of that one.
So the highlights there of the third, fourth place playoff between Tampines Rovers and DPMM, and Tampines winning that 2-0. They finish third. We're just awaiting the award ceremony coming up very shortly here at Jalan Besar Stadium. Always takes a little bit of time, of course. That's what they're playing for, Roshan. And I mean, it's great news, isn't it, for LCS now? They've probably got that monkey off their back because they haven't won a major trophy in a couple of years, have they? So
Yeah.
it's nice for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice way for them to celebrate the end of the season with their fans as well. The fact that they haven't done too well in the league in terms of what we expect from them. They've gone a couple of years without winning the league title. And last season's Singapore Cup campaign was a very disappointing one where they were knocked out in the group stage. I would say they've made up for it here with the title win. And they deserve to celebrate this. They deserve, their fans who have been absolutely fantastic deserve this as well.
They see the two chairmen there, Bill Ng, and then you've got Forrest Lee, Gerard Christopher. And then Go Touch One, FAS council member.
They're a nice little token for the officials. I think generally the officials had a pretty decent game, didn't they? Quite steady. In a sense, okay, perhaps, for me it was the decision with the penalty that I didn't quite agree with, but there are people who would have said it was a penalty.
I was just going to say, and I know this sounds very cliche, but you've seen those given, haven't you?
You have seen those given, you have. And look, even amongst the referees, there might have been a discussion about whether it should have been given, because obviously the VAR recommended a review for the ref to have a look at it again to see whether it matched what he saw initially. So there might have even been a difference of opinion amongst the official with regard to that. All that matters is that at the end of the day, the match referee made the call, and everyone just has to move on with that. And can he justify why he gave the call, which I'm sure he'll be able to, because as you said, you've seen them given.
Yeah. And look, he had the courage of his conviction immediately, and actually he backed himself up as well after on the on-field review.
Yeah, I mean, I think he in real time, he was certain of what it was. He awarded the penalty, and then when he had a look again, when he had a chat, he probably realized that it matched what he saw initially. It matched his reasoning as to why he awarded the penalty. And so in those situations, he's probably thinking, yeah, I'm quite right to give that. I'm quite right to stick to my guns. He didn't really see anything that would cause him to perhaps change his mind. And so he stuck to his initial decision and awarded the penalty.
We're seeing Hougang United there collect their runners-up medal. That's never easy, of course, and there'll be some very, very disappointed players there. But I think, Roshan, you felt as well that after conceding, they just didn't really pick themselves up so much.
No,
did
they didn't. But I want to say as well that, you look at them and most people in society will say, they lost the final. I feel like there needs to be a change in narrative. I feel like there needs to be a thing where we say they're the second best team in the competition.
Right, they did well to get there.
They did well to get there. They weren't favourites to go on and win it. They worked incredibly hard to reach the final. I'm not going to say they lost. I'm going to say they won second place, because they're playing in this competition. There are 9 teams, I think it was, that started out.
Yeah.
They're in the top 2. They're in the top 2. The rest of them didn't even make it this far. So, I think there should be an element of pride here amongst the Hougang United players and amongst the Hougang United coaching staff. And, nobody, again, what was the expectation coming into this? The Lion City Sailors were heavy favourites.
Yeah. Look, they bucked the trend last year when they were the underdogs and won the final against Tampines Rovers. You can't to expect to do that every single year. Defending a trophy is not an easy thing to do, is it, as well?
It's not. They've made it into the final. I feel like, okay, they're glum faces there, and yes, they'll be disappointed to have lost it. But again, I want to try and flip the narrative around to say they should be proud of their performance in reaching. There'll be people out there who won't agree, you should be disappointed, you should be this, you should be that. I don't know. I mean, to be the top 2 in a competition is something, especially when you weren't initially one of the favourites to go in and go all the way in it at the start. And now that they're there, yes, they were a little bit outclassed in this match, but there's such a vast difference in resources as well between the two teams.
Well, Bill Young still smiling away, talking to his counterpart there from Lion City Sailors, but Forrest Lee from the LCS perspective. I mean, this is bare minimum, isn't it?
Yes. I mean, we're almost running into a risk here of sort of not giving credit to the Lion City Sailors at any point. If we're always saying that they have to win everything, then when they do win it, it's bare minimum. So what is next? Going on to win the AFC Champions League or winning ACL 2 if they're taking part in that next season? Or which they'll be taking part.
You still got to go out there and win it is the point, right?
You still have to go out there and win it. Yes, there are expectations. Yes, we all expect them to win it, but we've seen that it's not easy. We saw them struggle in the league. Let's say struggle again, struggle by their standards. And they still finish second, back-to-back, behind Albrecht Negata. But yeah, I mean, congratulations to them. Yes, we will say we expect them to win. They are the favourites, but they still have to go out there and do the job and get it done. Because games, again, as the cliche goes, aren't played on paper.
And to be clear, I mean, this is what a lot of fans are putting out there. And I'm talking about non-Lion City Sailor fans. Yeah. This is what they expect. This is why, you know, a club with resources is always one that all the other fans are secretly wanting their club to, of course, have that kind of the resources. But because they don't, they will then, of course, try and put the pressure on Lion City Sailors. You guys have to go out there. You guys should be winning this. But they'll want the same thing as well, don't they?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think we all do. I think as neutrals as well, we'd like to see more of this in our league, right? We want to have more clubs who are run properly, more clubs who are run with good finances, strong in that department, and we have a good structure in place, wanting to try and make things happen, or wanting to try and improve themselves and be sort of the standard bearers. And you know, Lion City Sailors are doing that. Or they're trying to do that, you know, with the training grounds, with the level of professionalism on and off the pitch that we see. And I think that is something in the longer term we'd like to see with Singapore football. There's been years and years there's been talk of privatization, this and that and the other. Again, all fans of all the clubs would love to see their side like this, have these sort of resources. And I, as a neutral, I would love to see the league be a lot more competitive. Singapore football, you know, be really taken seriously, to have that level of funding, to have these corporate sponsorships, that sort of the finances in there, and also the thinking, the plan to try and really push it to move forward.
There you go, the celebrations ready to begin here for the Lion City Sailors players, as the trophy is handed over to Captain Haris Harun. Here we go. And there are your Singapore Cup champions for 2023, Lion City Sailors. What a special moment for them. Their first ever Singapore Cup. And their second piece of major silverware. A huge moment for this club.
Yeah, big moment. I think the league title was massive for them, history created. They weren't able to build on it. But this Singapore Cup is something that's been missing. A first ever Singapore Cup for the club. A first trophy as a head coach for Rankovic. And for some of these players, with all their experience as well, it's a first Singapore Cup for them.
Yeah,
you know?
True.
And so it's a big moment for everyone involved in the Lion City Sailors. And I think this time around, they'll be hoping that they'll be able to actually build on this.
Well, I was about to ask you that, right? This is now the foundation, isn't it?
Yeah, but we said that about the league title that they won a couple of years ago, and they haven't sort of lived up to that. And maybe this is another opportunity to start again, a good end to the season, something for them to celebrate, something for their fans to celebrate. I know they particularly wanted to win this, to make up for not winning the title, and they've done it. You know, congratulations to the Lion City Sailors.
Joyous scenes there for the players, the club, and of course their fans. And you mentioned there Alexander Rankovic. I mean, he's only come in a few months ago, and boy, it's a tremendous achievement for him.
It is a tremendous achievement for him, and it's always going to be special for him. You know, in spite of his record in the Eredivisie as an assistant, or even as a head coach for a short period of time, him winning his first title is always going to be something really special. You know, I think they'll allow themselves to have a good celebration, really enjoy it, and then in time to come, they'll look ahead and they'll plan for what's to come next. But now it's all about really celebrating. You know, they had this target in mind to go on and win it, and they've done it.
Yep, and Maxime Lastende, just see him to the left. He said he was absolutely desperate to end that drought of his. He came at the start of last year with so much expectation. He's delivered in spadefuls, hasn't he? And it's nice to see there that they are really just enjoying themselves now. Why not? Big moment for this club. And the celebrations, I'm sure, will continue.
Yeah, that's always good. Celebrate with the owner. That's a good idea.
Yeah, Forrest Lee, the project continues for him as he goes over to the fans. And of course, the fans are a big part of this as well, Roshan. So it's good to see they're doing
you know,
that.
he deserves this, right? Forrest Lee, he's come in, he's taken over, he's tried to build something there, and that project continues, as you mentioned. You know, there's been investment at the club. They're trying to do things the right way. They're trying to go in the right direction and be that example. And you can see they're
quite affectionate with him, aren't they?
Look at that. I mean,
that's not often you see that happen.
You have to say that all of this, the Lion City Sailors project, all of this wouldn't have been possible. They almost dropped him there. Be careful.
A couple of bits of finger pointing.
Oh, be careful. They're quick to point out others, aren't they? No, so all of this wouldn't really have been possible without him.
Yeah.
Without Forrest Lee and without his investment into the club. And it's good to see him getting his dues from the players, and good to see him getting his moment with the fans and a chance to celebrate. But the fans have been brilliant.
Yeah, look, this club has had some ups and downs, and they've come through on the other side with this trophy. But now they can certainly enjoy this moment. Well, they're really having some fun out there, and justifiably so. You don't often see Rankovic smile, so it's good to see, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great pictures, really great pictures. You know, the players are just going out there enjoying themselves. Coach having a word with the owner as well.
Listen, Nathan Mao's got a winner's medal.
Yeah, at 15. Oh my goodness. Envious. And he played his part in this final as well. He started the match.
He did.
Played 45 minutes. Took a heavy knock from Anders Zeppelin, and got up and carried on. Brilliant. I mean, imagine winning the Singapore Cup at 15 years of age.
He's got what, another maybe 20 years left in his career, perhaps. Wow.
Yeah.
If he's lucky. Wow.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, excellent work there, Lion City Sailors. Great scenes as they ran out deserving winners, and I think it's very fair to say, and we must put it out there, they played brilliantly from start to finish.
They did. Yes, they are deserving winners. I don't think you can hold anything against them. You know, they controlled the match. I thought it took a little bit of time for them to sort of really get into their rhythm. Hougang caused some problems at the start. Started off very well, but once the Sailors got going, that was it. You know, got 2 goals. They had rubber the green, I would say, but they really took full advantage of the position they were in and went on to win it. Deserving winners in the end.
Before I let you go, your final thoughts on this 2023 season?
Oh, 2023, final thoughts on it. I think it's been another good season. I think I would have liked to have seen a closer title race. Something that would really have gone down to the final couple of weeks or so. But there were some encouraging signs. I enjoyed how Tampines were involved a lot in the title race in the earlier stages. Unfortunately, it faded away towards the end. The Lion City Sailors didn't quite have it go all their way this season. Albrechts Niigata, end of an era for them. So yeah, a few things, you know, Balestier Khalsa surprising by getting into the top 4. So a few things here and there to enjoy, and a nice cup competition to end it all off on a high note.
We're going to leave you with these wonderful live pictures at Jalan Besar Stadium. The Lion City Sailors enjoying their moment, and of course they very well should. It's been a fantastic year. We hope you've enjoyed everything that we've brought to you. And from Rish Roshan Rai, myself, Shazad Haq, and the rest of our production team, we wish you all the very, very best. Happy New Year, enjoy the festive period, and we'll see you next year in the 2024-25 season. Thanks a lot for joining us. We'll see you very soon.